All right.
Been live in a while.
We have not been live in a while. Okay, there we go. We are indeed live. Wait.
Oh, look at that.
You can see it's all good. It's mostly, yeah, it's, you know, it's there. It's getting there. It's mostly there.
I mean,
just we won't move anything. I've got like the way I'm recording this is pretty good. I had it equal, 100% equal, but then something went wrong. But it's like relatively equal. You know what? On the fly, it's still a better editing job than 90% of anything that we didn't touch on the ISGP. So
the 90%? Did you say?
90% of the runs that we didn't edit. You know, it looks.
Oh
better
my god, Freakzilla's here, which is actually
really?
a wrestling reference. It's got Scott Steiner.
Steiner, yeah. Okay, hold up. Let me. Okay, one sec. I'll just go get my phone so I can read comments because we'll try and we'll keep everything open so we can still look at comments and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll get my phone.
I mean, yeah, this is not going to be a work rate speed run, that's for sure. Unlike the events of All In, it's definitely sports entertainment more. 11 people, and it's like 11 people watching, and you just know that by the end of it, it's going to be about 3. But that's all right, you know.
Yeah,
it's all good. We are. This is a way of being able to watch 2 people play Spyro relatively not slow, and then also somehow, you know, talk about something that has absolutely nothing to do with Spyro. So it's like the perfect conflict here, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. So all right, I'll get the chat going. Where is the chat?
Where is the wrestling? Chicago is where the wrestling was today.
Yes. Where is the
for All In, the first ever independent wrestling show to draw 10,000 people since 1993 in the US, I believe. That's the statistic.
Is that the statistic they're going for? That's the bullshit they're peddling, is it?
Oh yeah, the show was like 50% papered, I would say.
Yeah.
The comps, so many comps.
Yeah, so many comps. And by so many, we mean literally none of them. Literally, it might be one of the least comped shows in history, if you think about it. So what they could have done is... They could have comped it. Like, let's say they only sold like 7,000 or something like that. Then that's when the comps start coming out. Hello, Nathan Butfield.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I'm surprised they didn't comp it, actually. The hacks.
Yeah,
well,
I know, right? Too good. That's what WWE do. They comp thousands of tickets per show. They should learn from the major leagues where they don't feed you a hot dog and $20 and a handshake. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's what it took for Chris Jericho to fly from Chicago to wherever to play at a show later that night.
That's right. Yeah, it's what looked like in front of 25 people. You are the drunk man. Remember me? That's my reputation now. One stream and that's it. Jesus, imagine if Fukuoka was streamed.
That will always live on in my memory. I stream it 24/7.
Yeah, well, there's a footage not found little bit at probably from anywhere between 12 and 2 a.m. But like Arrested Development white screen. All right, that's okay. We'll do
music generators here. Holy shit!
Get fucked. Music generator.
Yeah.
No, I have not seen that name in 8 years minimum.
He's back. He's back in a big way.
This isn't wrestling even better at Spyro. Well, it's going to be all about wrestling, so you will be gone very soon, I'm sure.
All right, well, we will count down and then we'll get started, I think, because we'll clip this for the VOD. So VOD will start.
So VOD will start, and then VOD starts now, and then we're going to count down to do the speed run. This is going to be a speed run to 100% the artisans, the Summer Forest home worlds, all levels in Summer Forest, ready to speed run. Angus's footage is going to be a little bit behind because I'm streaming his stream essentially, but so he'll probably be like he'll be ahead anyway. But all right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, hello everyone. CrystalFissure here with Nintendogen64, and we are here with a special little show, I guess, podcast, discussion about one of our most anticipated shows of the year, wrestling shows of the year, All In. at the Sears Center
Yes.
not Chicago, but Chicago, because apparently that's what you meant to say.
Illinois.
Yes, Illinois.
Now we've been to Chicago, Illinois, haven't we?
We have. We've made a brief little stop. I'm sure if you type in Chicago CrystalFissure, you will actually find a video, an excellent video.
We had
of
a bit of a hazard there, didn't we? There was a bit of an incident.
A bit of an incident. Wasn't urinary. It was just,
What? I don't think anyone was thinking that, but if they were,
when you see an incident, usually it implies, scat or piss. It can.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking
about. And, exactly.
Yes,
so we were there.
As we were talking about, let's get on topic. The wrestling show, the event All In, just happened a few hours ago. And, wow, what a show. This was a very, very, very good show. A very historically significant show as well, wouldn't you say, CrystalFissure?
Yes, I would agree. I mean, we... if schedules aligned and timing was right and we didn't go to certain places and I didn't lose, thousands of dollars worth of tickets, I would love to have been there. And, I know a couple of friends that went there and had a great time. And, there's many reasons why this show was excellent, which I think that we'll go down and, down the list and discuss it as we sort of go through the card. We're gonna have to remember that actually now from scratch. You just realize that. I think I remember it in order. So
I remember most of the card.
Yeah.
I didn't see all the matches from the start, but I do remember most of the show.
Yeah, cool.
But talk us through. Talk the layman through about why is All In. What is All In, first of all? Can you explain
what is All In?
To people what All In was?
A personal friend of mine, David Allen Meltzer, once replied to a tweet basically questioning whether Ring of Honor could draw 10,000 fans to a show. And his answer was, basically like not anytime soon. So Cody recently, under the employ of Ring of Honor and working for New Japan as well, said, "I'll take that bet, Dave. Give us 3 months with, planning and promotion, and me and the Bucks can do it." And everyone at the time, I remember what it was like. Everyone at the time said, "Yeah, right. You are full of shit. There is absolutely no way that you're going to be able to do this." And basically, this whole show is an attempt, to prove the naysayers wrong, to prove that there are 10,000 individual fans of it, in America or even around the world that will come to go see an independent wrestling show, a feat that had not been achieved for decades, over a decade, and really the largest non-WWE attendance since WCW, passed away.
Folded, yeah.
So basically, the show was a giant. Let's see if we can do this type thing. And so what it was is it was intended to be like a sort of a who's who of indie wrestling and Ring of Honor and a bit of New Japan and just in general, sort of wrestling in general, guys from Impact, guys from Lucha Underground, MLW, everywhere. And it was the clincher for people, and what I think led to its success was the fact that it was all actually, at least at first, being self-financed by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks themselves. And they obviously, are fairly wealthy from wrestling, but I mean, you're looking at the show, looking at actually having a look at the show, that would not have been cheap, No,
a huge financial risk, I would have said. Like, if this thing failed, if they didn't draw the numbers they were expecting, then they could have seriously, fucked up. Like, it could have been a major, major mistake.
Yeah.
But, luckily, history will go down to prove that they were spot on in what they thought.
Yeah.
And that wrestling fans definitely will, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
And so all in, the hype around this show, the actual build up, because the guys who were primarily in charge of this were the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes, and they have a web series on YouTube called Being the Elite. CrystalFissure and I are avid fans of. We watch every time, every week.
Yeah.
And they use that to build up the storylines and the matches, and they announce the matches there, and that's pretty popular. That gets some good viewership.
Oh yeah,
it's
easy 100,000 views, and then bigger episodes, into 200-300 depending on how they go. Yeah, it's a very popular web series, really kind of following in the mold of actually Z True Long Island Story, which was one of my original favorite sort of shows, and actually the JBL and Cole show. You can tell that Cody Rhodes got a lot of the kind of inflection and weirdness, to that show actually came from that. But basically, you know, the show was important for those reasons, but in general, it needed to be important. It needed to be good because it had so many critics or wannabe critics, you know, ready to jump on the backs to criticize them for anything, you know.
Well, I mean, you've got to think about it. This is the first time in almost 20 years that any show that isn't called WWE or WWF has put on a major event like this.
Yeah.
Like, I know the people, like, there's all the people who are like, oh, you know, WWE won't be threatened by this. There's nothing to scare WWE. This is just a blip on the radar. But, really think about it. They have achieved something here that you can't take away from them, I don't think. This is something that will go on, like, this could be the start of something. This could be, like, the moment we'll look back and say this is where sort of the independent wrestling scene was reborn.
Yep. Yep, I agree.
Because if you look at some of the stuff on this show, like, that happened, especially with, like, the NWA Championship, look at, like, the Ring of Honor Championship, look at all these names that got, like, showcased on there.
Yeah.
Like, it was a big deal. And,
it was a huge deal.
There were some star-making performances tonight on All In.
Yeah, no, there absolutely was. So we'll go down what the card was and explain the context of some of the stuff and why this is important and the significance of it, starting with the pre-show. So this is something that actually only came into fruition in the last, I think, actually while we were in Japan, actually was when it was announced. Like, I think the day after we got there, they announced this. The first hour of the show was going to be broadcast on live TV on a network called WGN America, the general station, not the Chicago only station. Chicago was playing a Cubs game, so funnily enough, you actually couldn't watch it on their regular station. But basically, it was it was on cable. 77 million homes.
Hold on, are we 100%ing Summer Forest as well? By the way.
Yeah. Every world in it, every level, including the home world.
Okay, so the home world and the speedways. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Continue. Sorry. Sorry everyone. Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. Forgiven. But you know, basically, yeah. So the first hour was on television. And that was, you know, another great sort of thing, and you'll see that, you know, that they started to get sponsors and stuff towards the end. They started to get, like, you know, people sort of throwing in their hats. Everyone wanted to be involved, but cannot find this last gem. It started off with an over the was it not over the top? No, sorry, a tag team match between SoCal Uncensored.
Oh yes, I saw this match.
Yeah, SoCal Uncensored and the Briscoes, who are two teams from Ring of Honor. And this was, yes. I actually didn't see this, but I actually, my friend Andrew Benjamin actually said this was actually quite a good match. And it's sort of an opener. Yep, just a general opener. You see everyone's over. You see that one thing you'll notice about this is that the crowd, you know, they're just so hot for this. Like, they are just... Yeah. Like, it's unbelievable how honestly, this is one of my favorite wrestling crowds I've ever seen, to be honest. Like, it wasn't ridiculously smarky to the point of annoyance, but it was still, like, good enough to where it was like, oh, this is wild.
Were they like One Night Stand 2006 level?
Oh yeah, honestly, I make many comparisons to One Night Stand 2006 because that is the piece of nostalgia to me that cannot be replicated. That is like pretty much really my first proper pro wrestling experience. And of course, so, you know, everyone loves to say, you know, oh yeah, you know, everyone becomes a WWE fan. No, if I got into ECW, I would have been an ECW guy from day one. Like, I know I would never have been a WWE guy. I know that because I enjoyed ECW. When I think about all the things I enjoyed from ECW, or from One Night Stand, it was all the ECW guys. You know, it was like Terry Funk, you know, RVD, Masato Tanaka, I think he was still on this card. Super Crazy, you know, like all those guys, you know, Sabu, yeah, all those sort of guys. But so anyway, so, you know, it was honestly, like, a lot of fun, great crowd. So what was, I guess, you know, what was the sort of the main event, I guess, of the pre-show was this, they call it the over-the-budget Battle Royal, referring to the fact that they've spent too much money bringing in some of these guys. I mean, yeah, they wouldn't have been super cheap, actually, if you're looking at, like, the booking fee and general, you know, who was on this Battle Royal. You had competitors such as, you know, Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn's son, Tommy Dreamer, Colt Cabana.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer was there. Yeah, Colt Cabana,
Bully Ray,
Trent Beretta,
Chuck Taylor, Jordan Grace, who's actually an indie wrestler. She's probably one of, and we'll talk about this, but Yeah, she was probably one of the people that really
she
benefited.
Good? I've never seen anything from her.
She really benefited from being on this show, like massively. So you know, you had this guy by the name of Marco Stunt, who basically became famous, I guess, because he appeared on Joey Janela, this wrestling show, this GCW promoted Joey Janela event called Joey Janela's Lost in New York. And basically he had this match against this guy, got massively over, and then everyone now wants to book him, you know, because that's how it is in wrestling now. Like, you do one thing, you go on the internet, you're set. So yeah, Marco Stunt.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like look at
Brian Cage.
Like look at PCO.
Oh, PCO, another big example.
Like he wasn't on the show, but that's what we're talking about with indie guys.
He was the PCO of Lost in New York. That's basically how people. That's how you describe it. So anyway, so you had you had all these guys in the Royal Rumble and sort of this battle royal match, and it was excellent. Everyone got a chance to shine. Like Colt Cabana did like an Asai moonsault at the top, from like the top rope, which is insane. Which he's done that in Noah before with Zack Sabre Jr. But yeah, it was really cool. All these sort of great spots, all these different people. Jordan Grace actually eliminated Cage, which was really, really crazy. Like, she lifted him or something like that, did some fucking crazy spot. I won't go over every spot, but crowd went absolutely mental for that. Marco Stunt did this kind of tilt-a-whirl in lifted pizza DDT face buster. Like, I don't even know what the fuck it even was, but it's like the greatest wrestling move I've ever seen in my life. And like everyone just, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the shit that they do in OWE, which is that Chinese promotion that I told you about. Like flippy shit, like the greatest flippy shit you'll ever see in your life.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? We talk about this all the time, but flippy shit really gets butts in seats.
Yeah.
I mean, you can talk about traditional wrestling, and you got to have your ring psychology and everything like that. But I would almost guarantee you show a casual person a Bret Hart match, put it up against like a really flippy like ACH match or like a Will Ospreay match or like a one of those kind of matches, and you ask him, which did you prefer, the slow, methodical, intelligent Bret Hart match or the flippy shit, crazy, balls to the wall action Ricochet match?
Yeah.
And they will always say the flippy shit match.
Yeah.
Which is, no slight on Bret Hart, but
unless you're an autist like your brother.
Yes, unless you're like really, a literal autistic person.
That's not an insult for the record.
Yeah, that's not actually an insult. That's
not anymore. True. That's the funny thing.
But you know what I mean, though. You know what I mean, though. Like,
I do know what you mean, and I mean,
people.
Yeah, and there's obviously a blend, and it's not. It doesn't even have to be flippy shit.
What about your brother, though? We showed your brother like live wrestling. Well, he loved the technical grappling things.
But it's still, I would say, has more in line with flippy shit psychology than a traditional wrestling match. Than say, for example, an NWA title match, right? You know what I mean? Like that's
exactly.
Essentially. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So one thing that Bully Ray came in and eliminated this suspiciously skinny Chico El Luchador, played by the legendary Rocky Romero, who we've both met.
What?
And,
what do you mean? What do you mean played by? What? Excuse me?
I mean, sorry. So Chico is like basically the greatest wrestler in Mexican history.
He's the greatest wrestler in history. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, qualifiers is a bit. Yeah, it's not just Mexican wrestling; it is wrestling. Stone Cold recently in his latest episode of Scuffling with Shade, admitted that he actually stole the stunner from this guy, and and he stole the fingers. He stole the finger. He stole like all of his shit. He saw it in Mexico first when he was doing it in Arena Mexico, and so. But he was looking skinny. It was very bizarre. Turns out
Chico dropping a few LBs. Huh?
Chico was dropping a few gimmicks, as they'd say, and he was
a few gimmicks.
They always say that Stone Cold's always like, oh yeah, that gimmick, this gimmick, this chick, and so he got powerbombed through a table at the start of the match, and it was like, oh okay, that's weird, and then Colt Cabana eliminated. Colt Cabana got eliminated by Bully Ray. Everyone was pissed off. And then all of a sudden Chico comes in, attacks him, takes his mask off, and it's Flip Gordon. finally, you know, making it,
no way.
you know, into the battle royal. He'd like snuck in.
in.
And see, this was actually alluded to in being the elite, where like Chico takes a meeting with someone, and like it's kind of like, oh, you know, like and this kind of thing, and it's like, oh, okay. So it wasn't like a crazy surprise, but it's an example of like 9-month long-term booking that like has like a ginormous payoff, right? And so this, of course, this battle royal, the winner of that wins a spot on the main card, and you know, on the main card, and it was
against the Ring of Honor champion.
Yes, Jay Lethal, Machismo. And yeah, so you know, that was like the whole point of it. So he wins, crowd goes absolutely mental, and we are off into the main card. So main card.
What a great way to open the show, by the way. That's a terrific
idea. Get
idea.
The crowd completely hot already. You know, like it's brilliant. It's a brilliant plan. So, what's his name? The card starts off with Matt Cross, or Son of Havoc from Lucha Underground.
Yes, that's who it was. Of course.
Yeah.
I thought it was Mike Kanellis for the longest time. I was like, what's he doing here? You know,
yeah, jeez, he's back. He's back. And what's his name? What's the other one? And MJF. So who was basically known probably before Marco Stunt and got booked, and probably.
He's a CZW guy.
Basically, and you know, he was like said how it was like his booking fee was like astronomically low, so they like tripled it or something like that. But yeah, this was like a fun sort of opener match, kind of like classic heel versus face, kind of like get the crowd warmed up. Realistically, they probably didn't need warming up, because they like, see, in a different crowd, in a WWE crowd, this match would 100% be necessary. But in many ways, I really enjoyed this match because I really like Son of Havoc. But in a way, it almost didn't need to be a heater, because the crowd was just so mental in the first place. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
But it was good to get
I saw this match.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw this match as like just a way of like, you know, getting the crowd like not heated, but like used to the production set, used to the value like of like what they were seeing. Like I customized them to the show, because like there weren't really any stakes in the match, obviously.
No, it was just MJF. You know, being himself, who's like constantly known as being like a dickhead, you know, sort of like an asshole character. You know, like he's almost like some people refer him to like as a discount EC3 or like EC2, they call him. But failing this, I'm doing the hockey challenge right now. I am just
I'm in Sunny Beach at the moment.
Have you beaten any other levels, or?
No. I've just done Glimmer, and then I did a bit of the Homeworld, and now I'm in Sunny Beach.
Okay, cool.
I'm doing the Turtle Soup Challenge, by the way. I got that like second try. The proxy.
No. Oh fuck yeah! Gotta try that again. But I did it while I was intoxicated, but could never do it.
You did it intoxicated. Wow.
Yeah. Oh shit! I just realized you're right. Fuck. To actually beat this whole thing 100%. Ah shit. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to get that. I just realized that. I completely forgot that you need climb. Oh. Shit.
What a mistake. Anyway, yeah, go on about MJF versus.
But yeah, good.
What's his real name? Like, what's the MJF stand for?
Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Very Jewish name sounding.
It's a very heelish name, like three names. Like, what's that all about?
You know, EC3, Ethan Carter the Third. You know, like that's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's only been wrestling for a few years. Anyway, it was a good match, solid match, and I enjoyed it. The next match after that was it? Did they go straight to Amell and?
That was Amell. That was Stephen Amell from Arrow fame versus who was he versing? Oh yeah, Christopher Daniels, of course.
That's right.
In the singles match.
In a match that was just way better than it. You know, like they always. It's a bit of a cliche to say that, but it's like way better than it should have been. You know what I mean? Like just fantastic.
Tremendous.
Like how? I mean, that table spot where it's like you obviously think it's going to be like the celeb, you know, like sending the dude through the table to kind of like justify how he would win, but then it's actually Amell that went through the table. That was just unbelievable. Like, what a bump.
Oh, it was insane. Yeah, like the bump that guy took in them.
CW executives on ice, I think, at that point, like just freaking out.
I read him doing that as like a way to like pay his dues, kind of like maybe people didn't think like he deserved that spot or something.
He deserves that spot and more. You know what I mean? Like, he honestly, holy shit, like what he did, you know, for...
I just 100%... Actually, no, I haven't 100% Sunny Beach. Oh, I was very close, but I didn't speak to the guy.
If you exited level, that would have... I'm definitely behind. If you exited level, that could have been an equilibrium. Could have been equalizer. Equalizer 2.
That would have been an Al Malloy mistake.
Yeah.
To do that.
But anyway, what was we saying? Yeah, so this was like a great sort of match, and honestly, it had like kind of a feel-good element to it because after the match was over, you know, Amell and Christopher Daniels, you know, shook hands and stuff like that, which, you know, you didn't expect. You didn't expect Christopher Daniels to do that, but honestly, I kind of took that as almost like a kayfabe breaking moment where it's like he's like acknowledging, like, yeah, well done, like you proved it.
Yeah. I sort of read it as that too.
Yeah, I mean that spot
I'm
with
sure we'll see a follow up to that.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Honestly, like the next thing I'm most intrigued about is not anything even to do with New Japan right now. I'm most excited about the All In episode of Being the Elite, because I think that the kind of footage we're going to see backstage, I honestly think we're going to get a half-an-hour episode, which includes like the post-game stuff, you know, because remember we didn't get, unfortunately. Like,
I haven't seen any of that actually.
Oh, have you finished the show, right?
I finished the show, but I didn't see any of like the.
Well,
Cody said something after the show.
All it is it's only on Periscope stuff right now. I'm sure the cameras actually caught it, so that's great. I hope that's what happened. Yeah, so we have that whole thing. That was just excellent. I just thought that was really well done. You know, solid match. It wasn't too long. You know, good for time. Got to its spots, did its shit, and great.
Well, how many matches has Amell wrestled now? Like, he wrestled that one SummerSlam tag match. It was his third match. Wow, that's pretty good for 3 matches. Like, I'm sure he's had training in between, but that's still pretty impressive.
But not a whole heap as well. Like, I mean, he'd been saying that in those all out or all incoming videos, the kind of the NWA promoted sort of Cody ones, and honestly, tremendous job. Then we had, I think, was it the four-way, the Fatal Four-Way, the women's match? I think that was
the women's match.
Yeah, and you know what? This one, honestly, like, you know, I'm not one of those guys that's like, I try not to grade them on a curve. You know, if I think that like a match isn't that good, whether it's a man or a woman, I'm going to say it. But I was genuinely impressed with this. I really enjoyed this.
Well, we've seen enough of like women's pro wrestling, like especially in Japan, like, you know, Joshi pro wrestling, like. And like, how much of that stuff is just as good as the men? Like, honestly.
Oh yeah.
It's
like
one of those shows.
Yeah.
Like, so I grade it pretty equally when it comes to that kind of thing.
Yeah, as do I. And honestly, an excellent 4-way match. You know, that kind of everyone got to do their stuff. You know, everyone kind of, you know, did their moves and you know, and that's what was really, really good. And honestly, I came
when Zack Ryder's girlfriend did the broski boot?
Yeah, I did actually. I thought that was funny because that's more over than he's ever been in WWE for the last 6 years.
Maybe he'll leave. Finally.
No, he won't, because he's the exact opposite of, like, that's the funny thing. They completely killed his, like, passion. Like, if there was an indie scene like this when Ryder was getting buried, he would be there now. He would be, but it's too late. It's too late. He's already been exposed as just an average work. I still like him for the record, but he's just been exposed as just a WWE guy. You know, he probably would have had a stinker with AJ Styles and PWG. Cough, cough, Brian Major. But anyway,
how good is that Tessa Blanchard though? How young she is.
Really liked her. Yeah, she was good. And the thing is, people had actually shat on her. Like, I remember, like, when I was sort of not part of the Stardom community, because, you know, they're a bit, but, you know, when I was, like, sort of talking about Stardom back in the day, I remember people used to crap on her. She was kind of, like, inconsistent and kind of like, I don't know, like, yeah, they kind of thought she was immature and stuff like that. But honestly, I came away from this pretty impressed with her, and she was the Impact champion, so like the Impact champion looks strong in
again,
victory.
Another person who didn't bring that belt down to the
I wish that she did as well. I really do wish she did. That disappoints me, actually, especially because she won as the title holder, so it kind of like looks more legitimate.
It makes the Impact title seem more impressive by comparison.
That's right.
So
but yeah, good. Britt Baker came out to Adam Cole's like Ring of Honor theme. which people
That's
were pretty
what that
excited.
was. Ah,
Yeah. And she's a legit doctor, you know, right? Like she's a legit.
Is she really?
Yeah, that's not a gimmick. That's not a gimmick.
So she is a dentist.
She's a dentist. She's a dentist. Yeah. And do you know what was funny as well?
Oh, and how good? Oh yeah, go on. Sorry.
The fact that Zack Ryder's current girlfriend and ex-girlfriend was on commentary. Emma was on commentary, and Zack Ryder, you know, they did the woo 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 spot. She just went quiet for that. Like that.
Oh, did she? Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh, I was like, oh man, honey.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I think is Chelsea Green, that's her name, right? The person who's dating now. She's pretty good. Like she's got her character down. Whatever the fuck is going on with that, like the
it's kind of a
deranged lunatic.
Yeah. Hot mess.
Which the only person I wasn't very impressed with was Josh Matthews' girlfriend.
Madison Rain? Yeah. In fairness, though, I feel like she was out of the ring a lot of it. She didn't get a whole opportunity to do too much. But yeah, I mean, I think
possibly.
But yeah,
I think she's been around for like a long time.
Yeah. She has been around.
Like I actually really enjoyed her stuff with the beautiful people back in.
Yeah, no, she's definitely not bad by any stretch. I honestly think it was more about the others. To be honest, I feel like it was like Blanchard was the most sort of obviously important one, followed by Chelsea Green, followed by Britt Baker. Oh, yeah, Britt Baker. Yeah, Britt Baker's probably. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Rain was like the odd one out in terms of like attention, but yeah, no, solid stuff, and I would recommend it. You know, as anyone like as a fan, of, like
really good women's match.
Yeah,
I was thinking watching this match, man. You could have had 2 singles matches on this card, but this card was already stacked enough and like pushed for time. But, like,
which became an issue later on. So it was probably good.
Doing this was probably the best option.
Yeah. Now the next match was the NWA World's Heavyweight title match. That's right.
The World's Heavyweight title match. Nick Aldis, the champion, defending against the son of a plumber, Cody Rhodes.
Yep. That's it.
His entourage versus Nick Aldis' entourage.
The presentation of this was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
Getting old Earl Hebner on the phone and like having him like the referee like, oh, you know, I know both you guys for years and I want a clean match, and that was good.
Yeah.
I like that touch.
And
the
entrance, you know, stuff as well. I love that. I'm a big fan of that. You know, when you have like the entrance thing, you know, and like they like walk in, you know, like that. I love that.
Yes.
Where you cut to the, you know, and they've got like the entourage basically.
Yes, the entourage. It made it feel big. Like this match felt big.
That's how they do it in UFC. You know, everyone has a fight camp. Like, you know, fight camp. You know, you've got like all your competitors and you've got all your team and everyone working with you and stuff. It's because it's a whole team effort. You know, when you're fighting, you know, if you're a UFC fighter, you're not just fighting yourself. You know, you're sparring. That's the logic. It's a very sports feel. You know, very sporty feel. Which I'm a big fan of in that. So you had that match. Cody came out, giant pop. Aldis, you know, pretty big heat on him.
Huge pop. One of the biggest pops of the night, actually.
I would say so.
Which was good. I thought he got a bigger pop than the Young Bucks, actually.
Yeah, I think he did. I mean, obviously, it came out a lot. You know, it was like quite a long match. I mean, quite a long. It was a longish match, but it was quite a long. You know, like show. So of course, you know, I think there was a bit of fatigue towards the end as well. But he got a huge pop. And yeah, it was honestly
probably biggest pop of his career, actually.
I'd say of his career by far. Yeah, it's like it'd probably be a mix of that and when he pinned Seth Rollins that one time. To, like,
that was big.
Back.
Did I watch that with you?
No.
Was that when I watched that with you? Or
I didn't.
You were up in Brisbane at the time.
I only saw a gif of it. Oh, was that really that show? Battleground, was it?
I think it was. I feel like it was. Or it was like around that time.
Cool. That makes sense.
That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But what'd you think of this match? Because I really enjoyed this match.
I thought it was quite a good match. Obviously, it's not my style of match. Like, you know, with me, I'm very much a, you know, work rate kind of guy. You know, I like just fucking moves, and I like psychology, but, you know, psychology is moves, to be honest, in many ways. And, you know, I enjoyed it. I think they kind of fucked up a little bit in the middle. I think they bladed, you know, a bit too early. And so it kind of was a little bit like, oh shit, they're scrambling.
For that.
Yeah, I honestly feel like it could have been an improvised DDP diamond cutter, which
I don't think that was improvised.
If it was, I mean, I don't care because that was fucking great, honestly. Like DDP.
That got a really good
DDP
DDT did that too.
Needs to do a retirement match because that guy clearly is still fit. You know, his DDP yoga is like a literal life changer for some people.
Yeah.
He's a literal godsend, like, to the wrestling community in its own way. You know, like, it's actually kind of amazing, DDP. Honestly, fuck WWE for burying him with The Undertaker, one of the worst wrestlers of all time. So if any of you WWE fans are watching this right now, let me tell you this. The Undertaker fucking sucks. And fuck anyone that thinks he's actually more than a complete and utter joke of a gimmick bully piece of shit. There you go. So that should alienate everyone else that likes me at this point. Unsub if you like The Undertaker. I genuinely mean it. I fucking hate him. I hate The Undertaker.
And he was, well, the lights did go out, but I don't think he was on this show.
Thank God, because honestly, if The Undertaker came out, I would have booed the shit out of him, because he fucking sucks. Anyway, because that's what happened, you know, it's when you're bully. Like, I mean, like, The Undertaker's mentality is literally what has, like, caused the wrestling industry to kind of collapse. Because, like, their whole mentality was like, yeah, bury everyone from WCW, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's honestly, it's sad. Like, DDP could have been a far bigger deal. But anyway, obviously, what's a bigger deal is the world's heavyweight. Oh yeah, I saw that. You got 6 lives, 5 lives. It's kind of cheating because I can see what you're doing, but you can't see what I'm doing. But I'm not doing anything special. But what was interesting was, obviously, of course, how much they cared about, the whole crowd cared about this title. Everyone cared, and I think part of it is like being told to care, which I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's like we've been told through Billy Corgan's 10 Pounds of Gold series and everything like that. This is a big deal. This is obviously Dusty's his dad. Held this title and everything like that. So it's, significant for wrestling, but I think the fans really bought into that,
Well, it felt like a big deal for Cody as well, I found.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he was broke down in tears talking about it.
After he won
incoming. Yeah, no, this was before he was even won it. This was like in one of the 10 Pounds of Gold series. He was talking about it and what it meant to him and stuff like that. So, it's like wrestling isn't real, but like, it's like the emotion you can't really take away from that at all. So yeah, fantastic story for what it was told. Do I want him to be a better, more faster paced wrestler? Yes, I do. I've always wanted that for Cody. I want him to be better because I still think that he doesn't work to my style, but he does that. Not everyone has the same preferences, and I think he entertained the crowd and he did a good job. And Nick Aldis did a good job too.
Yeah. I loved the finish to this match as well. Like, it had a really good old school finish where it came out of nowhere and really took the crowd by surprise, but in a good way.
Yeah. 100%. No, excellent ending.
Which I really liked.
Yeah, some people didn't like it, but I think it was the right move actually. But yeah, so that was great. Then obviously, like, he wins. So Cody Rhodes wins, new champion. Nick Aldis leaves pretty quickly, and I mean, it is what it was. It was very
Yeah, we'll see where that goes, actually, with him being the NWA champion.
Well, that's what we'll discuss at the end, because that's the thing about this show and what this show is. That's the burning question. That's the question I have when I leave here. I wonder what is the future. And
what was the point of any of that?
What's the point of any of this? No, but so the match is done. Okay, there you go. There you go, Foreman Bud. Thank you. So what do we got? So then we had after that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this is probably actually might have been almost my favorite thing of the whole night, actually. For many reasons. Either Joey Janela. Yeah, I mean, because I've become a bit of a BJW deathmatch kind of guy. Like, I live for this shit. So this was Joey Janela. Joey Janela versus old mate Adam Page, who was fast becoming one of everyone's favorite wrestler, because everyone fucking is on board with this guy. You've got Sugabayashi, is it Naoki or Naoki Sugabayashi, like the chairman of New Japan, like not the Bushiroad one, but like he's like a massive fan of He's a massive fan of Adam Page. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, he is. Like, what is with that?
Yeah, he's like Will Ospreay and Adam Page. Like they're the future, basically. That's what he said. Yeah, he fucking loves him. Great. I mean, yeah, he doesn't even say that. Yeah, it's like, honestly, it's Adam Page. And that's great. Anyway, so he comes out. Now, Adam Page is in that young start of his career where he takes lots and lots of bumps to get over because he has to work harder.
He has crazy bumps.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, but just in general, like, I was thinking about this guy. Like, he did some kind of... He worked, like, a 6-man tag match against SoCal Uncensored. And he took some crazy, like, bumps in that match. It was like a table match.
Was that in Supercard of Honor?
I think it was a Supercard of Honor, yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was.
Adam Page is, you know, honestly, a vastly improving wrestler. You know, getting better and better all the time. And Joey Janela is, I would say... I'm trying to think of the comparison, but if the Young Bucks and Cody are, you know, I don't know, like Spider-Man or something like that. It's not quite the same comparison, but if that's Spider-Man, then I would say that Joey Janela is almost like Venom in a sense that like he's basically he's doing what the Young Bucks are doing, but like in this warped, twisted piss take version or something. I can't even like basically for context.
That's a good way of describing it, actually. Yeah. I can't even describe what
it's really hard to describe. It's really hard to describe. And we actually have like these weirdly like personal stories about Joey Janela and his girlfriend. You know, because of our good friend Josh. Oshkosh
who could be watching right now or on the VOD.
Yeah, I hope you're watching this on the VOD, Joshua. But
if you are, hello to you.
Hello to you, Josh. And you know, if Chad is watching this, oh, I just wish Chad was watching this, to be honest.
I don't know if Chad has access to the internet.
He does. He tuned into our last stream talking about America, but so anyway.
Oh, he did. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Well done.
Good lad. So we have Joey Janela, who this is his biggest crowd he's ever performed in front of, right? By far. In fact, this is a few people's biggest crowds. Jordan Grace, not Cage. Cage did a bigger show last week. Yeah, Jordan Grace, Billy Gunn's son. Billy Gunn's for quite a long time. Billy Gunn, honestly, it's Billy Gunn's biggest show for a long time. You know, Marco Stunt. You know, probably Bully Ray for a long time. You know, all these sort of guys. But Joey Janela, this was like
Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, this would have been Daniels. No, Daniels has I'm pretty sure worked a New Japan show, like a Wrestle Kingdom or something like that. I'm pretty sure he has. Don't quote me on that. That could be wrong, but yeah, I feel like he has. But anyway, point is that I was really excited about this because I'm like, okay, Joey Janela to a new audience. You know, like that's what's really exciting to me. And of course, you know, it was. And he got over. He did the most crazy shit you'll ever see. Some of these bumps, some of these things he was taking, some of these fucking
that powerbomb onto the like from the stage up onto
that was so dangerous. That was like one step away from being a disaster. I was very nervous about that. That was terrifying. Yeah. I really liked the bit where he used the cracker barrel as kind of a step up to then do like a sort of a rolling dive. You know, you remember that?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I thought that was wild. That was really cool.
The finish of this match was one of those wild finishes.
The finish was straight out of a BJW kind of tier shit, like your Takeda like fucking dropping some cunt on his neck. You know, like it was.
It's basically being pile driven off the top of a ladder through a table. Yeah. Essentially, the same as that.
Yeah, but like a dangerous version of the pile driver, not like a Mayor Kane pile driver. You know.
Well, not a pile driver where you have any control over how your opponent is going to land. Yeah. It's like they're behind you. You're not even like looking at them.
So one of my favorite moments is actually, and so my impression of Penelope Ford, thanks Josh, was that she's kind of a bit of an airhead. But she like did, I mean, obviously you can still be an airhead and do these kind of things she did, but I thought that was great when she got involved, you know, and she came in and like fucked him up, you know, fucked up Paige.
Oh yeah,
excellent. I thought it was excellent. Like she did some great little flips and stuff like that. Yeah, Penelope Ford.
She's good actually. She
is definitely a one to watch. Maybe not as a wrestler, but you know, in general. Maybe on Instagram. Right. I think she's a Scarlett Bordeaux Instagram follow. You know what I mean? I think she's definitely worth a follow.
Or if you're Chris Jericho, make sure you unfollow her before your wife finds out.
Did he unfollow her? Did he?
Scurll Bordeaux, yeah. I think his wife, and then he started posting all this shit about like how much he loves his wife.
Oh, he got it. He got with it. Because think about it, Scurll Bordeaux was a Don Callis hire. Think about that.
That's right.
Think about that.
That's right.
She came in TNA. Impact.
I mean, hold on. We're not pointing any fingers here. We're not making.
I was gonna say we could. I mean, that Jeremy Bellin guy, that I met, like, I could just start to really, I could really start to get in trouble here and like become like a wrestling insider, and this gets quoted. Look, if this does go on streamable, please keep the Spyro footage in here. Shout out to Nintendogen64. Go subscribe to his channel for more Spyro updates and Spyro fan game updates.
My dead channel.
Yeah. But no, so this was excellent. Again, I mean, honestly, I know that I've been saying that this was excellent. And some people have said about this show, oh, wasn't that great? Now, maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and go, yeah, maybe it wasn't. But I can't...
Yeah, true.
The thing is, you can't force me how to feel. And like, my immediate feeling watching this entire thing was, truthfully, I enjoyed the entire thing. I enjoyed the whole show.
Yeah, from top
I'm sorry,
to bottom.
That's
when
just how I felt.
When was the last time you can say that?
I can't even say that about
like,
Wrestle Kingdom 12. Yeah.
I love New Japan, but there are so many New Japan shows which have like a great, like, last part, but like the first bit is pointless, boring tag team matches.
Yeah.
Like the third match on this card was like a world title match.
Yeah, a fourth. And the third was a women's. Yeah, And
then the match after that was an insane, like
death match.
hardcore title, death match basically. Insanity.
Exactly.
Right? And then
exactly.
What was after that? That was Ring of Honor, right? It was after that, the Jay Lethal match.
Yeah. So
actually, no, that wasn't next. That was a very interesting segment, which was next.
Yes. Yeah. What was next?
The funeral resurrection segment.
Oh shit! No shit.
Joey
obviously Joey Ryan. What's his name? The Dents. Adam wins. I've actually met Adam
Page
Cole,
wins
by the way. Yeah.
Adam Page. We met Adam Page at a lift in Tokyo.
Yes, we did. Yes. And a very, very, very tired Chase Owens, who we have his shirt.
Very tired. Too tired to make this show.
Very expensive as well. Very expensive meetup with him. But so we have all of a sudden these dick-shaped, like, I don't know, like balloons or something like that, like, come out, and all of a sudden, Joey Ryan, rocks up, and the crowd pops pretty huge for it. Comes out, does his shtick. I don't really need to say much more. It's great because the crowd loves it. And that was it. So
he does the penis plex.
Yeah, the penis plex. Which if you do not know what that is, just look it up, because no amount of explaining can justify what it actually is.
Yes. It is one of the. You'll either love it or you'll hate it.
Yeah, pretty much. Most people love it, especially live. It's like a DDT type thing where you see it and then you're like, what the fuck is this? But then if you're there live, you laugh, Like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah. But anyway, good stuff. Good segment. Probably, in terms of time, it probably went a couple minutes too long, with the entrance, because of some aforementioned issues we're going to get to at the end. The next thing was, what was it again? It was
Flip Gordon versus the Black Machismo.
Yes, that's right. In what was I think this was the match where I felt like people started to get a bit tired. Because they were doing I feel that too, actually. They were doing some good matches. They were doing some good stuff, but it wasn't getting quite the reaction that some of the previous matches were getting. Still a solid match. Obviously Flip Gordon's quite over. There's this whole thing with the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
His brother came out with
Lanny Poffo. That was a great pop, and I love that whole thing. I mean, I'm not even like a Randy Savage fan, because I never really watched him. But, like, it was, like an excellent sort of moment. What was that? So the match was, a good match. It was...
There was, like, a segment afterwards with Bully Ray coming out, and, like, they put him through a table.
Yeah. Thingo, who retained, what's his name? Jay retained.
Oh, Jay Lethal retained,
They could have done the crazy move and had... Flip win, but I think the build to Flip winning the title, and I think it will happen because he's signed a 2-year deal with them recently. oh, it's gonna be great. Like,
Yeah.
and Flip Gordon is like, he's one of those guys where like, I'm not like a Flip hater. Like, I know some people really hate his work. He is quite good. He will only get better though. You know, he's not all there yet. He's still like, you know, he needs sort of the stuff in between the moves a bit, I guess is what they sort of try and say.
Yeah, that's my problem with him too. Yeah, like he sort of does like the bits, but he doesn't have much in between them. Yeah.
But you know, like they're not playing. Maybe he doesn't play to the crowd as much. But you know what? You know what though? He'll get there. You just know. You know he will. You know he will. He's only been training for 2 years. Like, I mean, he is ridiculous for someone like that skill.
And he went to like the army. He was in the army for like a portion.
Yeah, exactly. So excellent. He'll be great. I don't care. I love Flip Gordon. Fuck anyone that doesn't like Flip Gordon. He's great.
Oh, I got the skill point on the speedway. Hooray!
You're doing quick. I mean, Haruko's doing this fucking shithouse challenge there.
So let's just recap for the people watching. Which levels have you done so far?
Okay. Oh fuck! I was about to exit level. So I've done like the first levels, and you've done the last levels. That's basically the way of describing it. I'm up to Haruko's now. I've done Haruko's. I've done Colossus and Idle Springs. You're definitely.
I've done Haruko's already. Have you?
No, I'm doing Haruko's now. Sorry.
Wait, have you done Haruko's?
No, I'm doing it now.
So I've done Haruko's. I've done Idle Spring. No, I haven't done. Sorry, I've done Haruko's, Sunny Beach. I've done Undercross. Yes.
Nice.
Sunny Beach, Aquaria Towers, and now I'm on Ocean Speedway.
See, the funny thing, I have absolutely no 100% strategy with this. You know, like do you? Like, I've never watched a speedrun of 100%. Like, I don't know any quick way of going through the level. Like, there's no strategy to me. This is just like an extended LP. Like, it's honestly terrible.
I had a bit of a strategy, but I kind of screwed it up.
Yeah, I've got no idea. But yeah. So what was after that? Then we had after Ring of Honor. Was it? It was.
Wasn't it Kenny versus? It was Kenny versus Pentagon.
Well, it was Kenny versus Pentagon before it was Marty in that, was it?
Yeah. Marty was before. Was after that. Yeah.
Yes.
So the last three matches might have been were all like
biggest mistake. Matches. Yeah. Okay. So yes. So it was Kenny Pentagon. Quite possibly one of the biggest dream matches that had been asked for fans for years, me included. This delivered 100%. Yes. This was excellent.
Oh, such a good
Both
match.
guys massively over because I mean, fuck, it's they're fucking awesome. So no surprise. This was great, plenty of stuff, plenty of Pentagon doing, interrupting shit. That's what he's so good at, like, Kenny will go for a move and he'll do, like, honestly, a Naito Pentagon match would be so great because, like, you just know that Pentagon will beat the shit out of Naito when he tries to do the Tranquillo, sort of,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing is, like, Pentagon's specialty, because he has no fear.
How good would that be? That would be so good. I really want to see that now, actually.
Yeah, I know. Sorry for putting that into your head because that's quite a fucking cool matchup. But, this was great. I won't, again, we're not really like, blow by blow go over matches because honestly, it's honestly up to you to watch them. But this was just a great match filled with some great near falls, signature spots and just fun.
Well, first of all, Kenny, like delivering like the big moves, really, really well done. Lots of V triggers, lots of one-winged angel attempts and that kind of stuff. Lots of, was it Cero Mito or something? Like, what is it?
Cero Miedo, which means zero fear. So he says, Yo soy Pentagon Jr. or Penta L0M, and Cero Miedo, which means like, I'm Pentagon Jr., I have zero fear, basically. That's
okay.
That's what it means. That's from Lucha Underground. Yeah, so great stuff there. Okay, I'm doing the bloody windmills, but I don't actually need to do it. Anyway,
see, this wasn't a very long match, I didn't find, but it was quite, like, they got all that
shit.
No,
well, the thing is, the problem is that this one wasn't super long. We'll just go over it, because we'll talk about it generally later. Great match, 100% recommend it. The next match, I really enjoyed too. This was Marty and Okada, but before we get there, I'd say that after the match, the lights went off. At some point, I did actually think maybe there was actually an honest-to-God, like, power outage because like it went out for like a minute or so. But it turns out it was indeed just Chris Jericho getting ready to attack Kenny after the match.
Kenny, yeah, like holy shit, who would have thought Chris Jericho would have been on All In?
Especially because he was kind of He was booked for a Fozzy show in Kansas City that night or something like that.
Is that where it was? Kansas?
Yeah, he's like
Holy
a 50 minute private jet, something like that, or Kentucky.
So this guy, Chris Jericho, flew from like Chicago to Kansas in one night just so he could like do this and then go to his rock show.
Yep.
Holy crap! Like, that's something. That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
And most people probably would know who Chris Jericho is. I would say he's pretty well known. Even my dad knows who he is, and he's not much of a
this guy Chris Jericho is a modern day the hip hop version of, and I don't even really mean this in a bad way, but a clout chaser in a sense that like he will want to attach himself to anything that gets popular. I'm not using that.
DJ Khaled of that time.
Oh jeez, I definitely don't mean that in a bad way. For the most part, especially now because I've eaten my crow because I said fucking Jericho the hack will never appear in America because he's a coward, you know.
You did say that very recently, actually.
Yeah, I said you're a fucking coward. You know, how dare you try and take, you know, attention and money off of like, you know, all this thriving scene, but then you yourself, you know, you don't actually. Is that Liam losing his shit?
That's my brother laughing. I don't know what's so funny.
Holy cow!
He is losing his literal.
That was like you could. That was loud.
That was loud. Yeah.
What were we saying? Yeah. So what were we saying again? Oh fuck.
Chris Jericho being a hack for.
Yeah. But you know, I stand corrected. You know, massive pop, one of the biggest pops of the night. Everyone fucking loved that.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
It was great.
He comes in disguised as Pentagon in the mask and everything, and they took the mask off. It didn't take him like 5 years to take the mask off this time, which was good.
Yeah. I'm sure he's happy about that. Yeah, when he did that. But yeah, great moment. This means a lot for the wrestling industry, honestly. The
implications of him showing up on the show, does that mean he's like basically, for the lack of a better word, done with WWE?
I mean,
like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is it? Like, we haven't really discussed like the significance of it, but Chris Jericho showing up at an American show, like, not promoted by WWE, is something he said he would never do.
Can I say we've actually got people in here, like, actually, like, commenting about shit? Like, Amelia's here. Fuck, I didn't know that, honestly. Amelia. Fuck, honestly, yeah, Amelia's one of my favorite fucking people in this world. But yeah,
what?
So just from the chat room, like there's actually people talking. So can we pause? Let's pause the speed. Ready? In three, on go. I'll go 3, 2, 1, and then on go. Let's pause it. Just have a look at the comments and see if we'll just pause the speed run. Just have a quick look. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's just have a quick look here.
I think I'm miles ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm on shit. We got King Europe here, Davon Griffin, Lord Damotron. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in. Actually, that's
Wait, we've got 41 people here. That's impressive.
Jesus Christ, 41 people here. All right, well, Cody, Young Bucks, I want my royalty check because this is this is the biggest crossover of Spyro and wrestling fans you're ever gonna get.
Literally, it is.
Yeah.
Well, Rock Ahmed doesn't like Joey Ryan. That's a shame. He's not everyone's cup of tea, I don't think.
Yeah. Oh god, look at this. There's actually people talking about independent wrestling in this chat. This is great.
Look what the Revelation said about Neville. That was a little disappointing, actually.
What do you fucking say about Neville? What the fuck did you say about Neville? Let's have a look.
He said, what will you think will happen now with him not making an appearance at All In?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. Let's get to the end of the card, and then we'll talk about that. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in, though. You guys are absolute fucking legends. And actually, I'll be a bit of a shithead. Plug it. If you can like the video, that would be great. If we get it to at least 10, because usually my wrestling ones get like 3 likes. Like no one gives a shit. Oh, okay. That's all. I see it as 2. Okay, well, let's get it to 20 then, boys. Thank you, guys. I know that sounds very... Okay, I will unpause it in 3, 2, 1.
Well, hold on.
All right.
And I'm not ready yet. Okay,
right.
Now I'm ready.
All right,
3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Yeah, not that it fucking matters, but...
Not that it matters, yeah.
None of it matters?
None of it matters?
Monsters Inc. Yeah, fuck. He's a Space Ranger. Anyway, so then we have Cody and Okada and Scurll, Marty Scurll, and this was this match was great, a styles clash, if you will. Too long. because of the fact that
actually, I agree.
Too long because of the fact that do you know this? Do you know the scoop? Do you want to know the scoop?
No, tell me the scoop.
Here's the Wrestling Observer newsletter scoop, my friends. This match went 12 minutes too long, and it went 12 minutes too long, literally on the time card.
Oh, okay.
They went over the time, and that's why they didn't get enough matches. That's why the main event was fucked.
So this match was only meant to go for like 15 minutes, basically.
Yep, basically. It was only meant to go for like 12 minutes. Yeah, so it kind of...
I was surprised it was going so long, actually.
So that's the thing, is that basically, in wrestling, there's a term called, go home, basically. And what it means, when they say go home, they basically mean wrap it up, start to get to the ending sequence of the match. So you could hear, like, quite early on in the match, actually, there were, like, all of these, go home sort of stuff, right? So what happened? I'm just completely aimless. It's actually incredible how aimless I am in the speedrun. Like, I'm just going around and back and forth and shit. It's unbelievable. If you're watching this in the VOD, wow. Honestly, I don't know. Like, I mean, this part of worries me because, like, Scurll wasn't out at the end of the match. Like, did he get hurt or something like that? Like, I'm just hoping everything's all good because because if it was Scurll, it's like, yeah, he ruined the main event in a sense. And he like, I mean, like, I was say this, like, fuck, we'll go over the match first. Yeah, this was great. Okada was fucking mega over, man. Like, I mean, we've experienced this before, though. Like, people in other countries love him because he's like a special attraction. Yeah, he's like Tanahashi, like, he's got that. He's honestly got that minus the 10 years of experience. That's what's crazy about Okada, is that, like, he will 100% Spyro eclipse Tanahashi when it's all said and done. Wow. And I don't mean that in a bad way because Tanahashi's fucking awesome, but, like,
we love Tanahashi. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, we witnessed literally one of his greatest matches live. You know what I mean? Two of them. What did that match get, by the way? What did it get? That got 5.75 or something like that.
Wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was fucking awesome. Yeah. Obviously, it's one man's opinion, but my opinion usually aligns with him unless he's talking about Lucha Underground or WWE. Because remember that time Dave gave fucking, what the fuck was it? Roman Reigns versus John Cena 4.25. And, like, even WWE's, like, biggest fans were like, nah, that match actually wasn't that great. But he, like, gave it, like, a super high rating for, like, no reason. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, so the Okada Scurll match was good. Both guys massively over. I really liked that, of course, like, Scurll didn't just do his normal shit, like, he really did work hard and stuff like that. And I thought that was great.
He did. The finish was really good too, like, with Marty Scurll was, like, worried about...
Love that it took two Rainmakers as well.
Just finish it. Yeah. Well, he didn't pin him after the first one. Like, he hit two, but, like, he could have probably put him away with one.
Yeah. Oh, shit. We didn't even say what side I am. I'm the left side. I mean, you should probably tell that I'm shit, but, like, I'm the left side, by the way. I'm
like the yellowy colored Spyro.
Yeah. What was we saying? So, it was like all the story and stuff like that is well done. But yeah, they could have trimmed, I think, 12 minutes when you think about that. I don't think they could have trimmed 12 when I look at that match. Could they have trimmed 5? Yes, probably they could have trimmed 5. Yeah. So you notice the match happens.
And 5 once the main event would have been great.
Yeah, exactly. What happens is basically they cut from that entrance, like, immediately. Like, sorry, they cut from the win immediately. They're basically like, yeah, who gives a shit? Let's...
I noticed that, actually. I thought that was really off, actually.
And that was what got me worried. I was like, oh, no. Like, they're out of time. Because, like, and that's the problem when you're on pay-per-view, like, when you're on real pay-per-view. If you don't pay for, like, an overrun, and also there's stuff to do with building codes as well. There's things like where you have to pay people thousands of dollars, in penalty rates if, like, you're working too late and stuff like that. That's why Madison Square Garden is a total disaster to rent. But basically, basically we cut to the main event entrance. We've got the Young Bucks come out to a massive pop. Kota Ibushi, of course. And then we
and
have
like Rey Mysterio and all those guys came out once, right? Like, I thought they would have had individual entrances.
I think that was all. I think that was still going to happen. I think that it may be a placebo that you think that it wouldn't, but I don't. But put it this way: as much as I'm about to put over who is probably my new favorite wrestler. Bandito did not need a solo entrance. In terms of this, I'll just say that I actually haven't caught all of this match yet. I've still got to watch like the first 3 minutes of it. I missed like the first 3 or 4 minutes of it because I had to fucking entertain people with fucking Father's Day, and then to get it ready and shit. I had to have a shower. Anyway, but not that I'm saying fuck Father's Day. But I'm saying I'd rather watch All In than.
Breaking news: CrystalFissure hates his father.
Yeah, no, I love my dad, but anyway.
Wait, which one did I miss?
This match was a fucking crazy spot fest that they were basically running through like probably 100 spots at double speed because they were just trying to get as much done as they could, but they literally did not have the time. The match was apparently meant to go 28 minutes. They were like, according to the time cut. I mean, I think they rushed things, they improvised like the ending, like something happened with like where Phoenix like broke a pin that wasn't meant to be broken. Bandito is one of the fucking greatest luchadors I've ever seen in my life. This guy is a freak. Like, he is just a freak. How good will this guy be in like a few years as well? Like, the shit he does. He's like 22 or something like that, 23.
Wow,
really young.
Wow.
He is a fucking legend. Like, you think like Dragon Lee kind of thing. But you know what? Like, he's like Dragon Lee. Plus, I guess I would call it, because like he's an indie guy. He's actually not a CMLL or a AAA guy for the record. He's basically what he is he's like, basically he was discovered through PWG, really. Like, I mean, now your purists will say that's not true. PWG just picked him up, but obviously Mexican Indies was where he was actually discovered. But what was really great was the fact that this guy is like basically one of the most unknown guys in the card, really. People were eating his shit up. Like,
and he was in the main event too, which is pretty incredible.
The main event, and that's like the thing, and like main event. That's why I'm so disappointed about the other match going so long. Even though I love Marty and Okada, I was disappointed because I'm like, this was Bandito's chance to get to do all this shit, but he basically was only able to do like half of it. Do you know what I mean? Like that was what bothered me. That was what bothered me.
That's a very disappointing, I guess.
Yeah,
it's quite disappointing.
But honestly, they made well with what they did. Yeah, and honestly, if anything,
for a 6-man tag match, I loved it. Like they got all their spots in, and they did like flippy shit galore.
If anything, you could say that it actually builds up the fact that they can face again. And I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
maybe without Ray. Maybe without Ray, if he is indeed slave bound. But
slave bound,
head to the Fed, heading back to his prison. And I mean, ironically, he's in prison in Lucha Underground canon, but I don't know if he's been killed yet because I haven't caught all season 4 yet. But he back to.
You haven't caught all of your favorite wrestling programs?
I haven't been able to watch it yet. I will binge it all at once. You had Bandito. Get over. There'll be another match with these guys. The Golden Elite definitely have a future. I love it. I'm a massive fan of that. And basically, they were down to the last seconds. They get the pin. The Young Bucks win.
Oh, they were.
And the show goes off the air straight after. Basically, hey, what's up, Primal?
Literally 10 seconds later after they win.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah,
it kind of sucked actually because I would have loved like a promo afterwards or something like that, saying like, like there weren't really any promos to speak of, like by the Elite guys.
No, but you know what? If anything, I think there was something important about that. So now, if we're going back and we're looking at this event, there's a few things to say. I think firstly, but like, okay, for the 100th point we've made in this podcast now.
Yes.
I loved commentary. Excalibur is fucking great. Ian Riccaboni is great. Don Callis is great.
I love Ian Riccaboni.
Yeah, yes. Ian actually is like a really like nerdy sort of like guy that like goes on Reddit and stuff like that, like comments on posts like when people are talking about him. So Ian, like, I want to say, if we tweeted him, I love Ian. But Excalibur is just funny. Like, there was that bit where they said funny. Like, what did they say like about like something like what was it, like that bit, there was that bit about Zack Ryder doing the woo woo, it's like tribute, and then he says like, oh yeah, like a tribute to like Shinjiro Atani or some guy that does like a similar really obscure like All Japan Junior or something like that, like, and I was just like, that's gold. That is gold. I love that. He was really funny. He has a good sense of humor, and you'll notice that if you ever look at any PWG highlight reel, basically anything that's like commentary is that. I'm pretty sure Excalibur's the one guy that says that like AR Fox is a giant Ryback fan, and he starts like, there's this whole video about
him,
you know, like it's anyway, Excalibur is gold. He was great, honestly.
What about the production? We haven't spoken about the production yet either.
I would say before that, bring in Excalibur to do shows, Ring of Honor shows. Bring him in. 100% bring him in.
Yeah,
I would 100% bring him in.
Yeah.
But no, right. So production. So this is what this is like the first thing I said to you all night, all morning when we were watching it. You couldn't watch it all at once. You had to go to so you actually had commitments. I literally stayed in bed until the last minute I could get up before everyone rocked up. I was like, Mum was getting pissed off, and I was like, no, Mum, let me watch my wrestling show. I paid $62 fucking for this.
Oh yeah, see, 62. Yeah.
You know, I'm happy though. If I get all the money, whatever, it's good. I'm happy to support this. You know what I mean? But anyway, so what was really, really impressive about it was the fact that the production was fantastic. They actually nailed it. And like that was what I was so nervous about, you know.
But like,
is this going to be a fucking
no?
This was better than any. This was better than any non-Wrestle Kingdom show. Like I genuinely,
we've been notoriously like critical of New Japan's like shitty production values.
Yeah.
Like you know, their shows like in America have been pretty lackluster, I would say, production wise.
Yeah. Access
like
TV.
They're like definitely like a level below WWE, but like this could have been like this could have been an episode of Raw, basically.
I prefer. I'll tell you, basically, it had all the good parts of WWE, like good stage and stuff like that. But because of the dimly lit crowd, and like the crowd like is like accentuated, right? That's what made it look really, really good. You know, like it was
true.
Honestly fantastic.
Although there was too many like people like not reacting in the front row for my life.
Yeah, fuck those guys. And actually, funnily enough, we know some of those people. That was what's even more hilarious. We've seen them around.
We know the hot tub guy. You see that guy?
Yeah.
I'm a hot tub guy.
Yeah. Well, the hot tub. Wait,
what know of him?
Oh, but Sean Scoville. He liked one of my tweets recently.
Is that who that is?
You know, the hot tub time machine guy. Is that who that is? Right, isn't it? The bigger guy? Or the guy that gave They Say Our Rock tickets.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Him. Yeah. Him. And then there was the guy that was good friends with. There was the guy that was good friends with Josh that we saw at New Year's Dash in the pink jacket, who everyone seemed to hate actually, which is hilarious.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong, but he was kind of a bit like, I don't know. You just like, dude, you're kind of playing it up like if me and you were in the crowd, like we'd be jumping out of our seats at some of those spots. Like I mean, you know,
like I'd be clapping along.
I clap at everything, and like remember, you know, like think about like BJW when we took Deathmatch Phil to BJW and stuff like that. Like we're reacting to like tag match deathmatch spots, right? I just love reacting, you know, like I don't give a shit when
I love wrestling. I love live wrestling.
Yeah, exactly, and like what do we got here? You don't think
I'll go to 1,000 live wrestling shows until
I let this company die.
Dies.
Freakzilla says, I don't really care about winning at this point. Personally, I didn't think the ring was mic'd that well. It was especially notable in the Battle Royal. I don't know if you noticed this, though, Freakzilla. The audio in 0 for 0 hour was shit. I admit that.
It was really bad.
There was something wrong with the audio for 0 hour. WGN did not get the mics right. So you're technically correct, but I think it got better during the actual show.
Yeah. I think as well, like a lot of people are conditioned to that shitty WWE, like miking of the ring where they like emphasize every single move.
And we've been. Remember how weird it sounded? Like they had this bullshit. Like here's the thing, right? It sounds alright on TV. When you're actually at a live show, it sounds like complete arse. Like it's horrible.
Sounds fake. It makes it even fake.
Honestly, it made it seem like it's fake. Honestly, fake bumps or something like that. Yeah, honestly, I would honestly describe it like that.
In fact, it makes it sound like it hurts even less because it sounds like the ring's hollow.
That's exactly. That's a good point. But yeah, so basically, fucking died by the fucking shark again.
Oh, is that your last level?
No, it's not. So.
Oh. What do you have after that?
I've got Sunny Beach, and I'm not going to get the proxy, so.
Oh, wow. Shit, I've beaten you by, like, so much.
Yeah, I'm terrible at this. Was it good? Yeah. So you know, what do we got? So, yeah, what were we saying again? We're talking about the production.
The ring.
Ring. Yeah. So anyway, point is that it was really good production. This was co-produced or produced by Ring of Honor, but you know that the Young Bucks wanted to get this right, and Cody and everything like that. So the thing is that you can only assume that like they really, really wanted to get this as good as they possibly could. Now, what that means is that this means that now talking about the implications of All In and what this means, Jerry, is is this now the new standard for Ring of Honor? The answer needs to be yes. It has to be yes.
Well, it needs to be, but it won't be though.
I'm gonna put hope into the fact that it will, only because of the fact that MSG sold out. Like that because you know that's going to be crazy good production.
Oh,
right?
that's going to be similar, I think, to this one. But I don't think Ring of Honor on a weekly basis is going to look like.
No. Weekly basis, it almost never is though. Like that's just the thing. Like, I mean, unfortunately, that's just how it is. But I mean, like from show to show, it has been slowly but surely improving year over year. Like if you actually look back, you look and then you look now, it is actually better. But like that, the Titantron that was there, like the thing was really, really good, I thought. The crowd shots and stuff like that were great.
Yeah.
But most importantly to me, and this is what needed to be good, was the frickin' was the crowd. What's the word? Like the mics, right? So you're saying about the mics weren't as good, but the miking of the crowd was better than any Ring of Honor show I've ever seen. One of the worst things about Ring of Honor is the fact that they have a really passionate fan base, but you can never fucking hear them. You know what I mean? You can never fucking hear them.
Yes, or they light them super dark and you can't see them.
Yeah, too dark.
Like they did that at Supercard of Honor.
Yeah, that was really horrible.
So bad.
You couldn't even fucking hear anyone there. It sounded like everyone was dead. You know, like it was, and I mean, in fairness,
well, I think they were dead after 7 hours of a show.
Yeah, that was a catastrophe, really. But I mean, their best attended, their best attended show ever. But kind of But So basically, you've got the good production, you've got the good commentary, you've got a good show, you've got people leaving with buzz. And you've got the heavy suggestion.
Yeah, it has hype around it.
Post-show that this will not be the last one. All in Double or Nothing, I'm sure, is now a possibility. Now, people were very skeptical about this in general, and people were like, "Oh, are they ever going to actually, is this going to be it? They're just going to take a WWE contract." Now, unless they're blowing smoke up our ass, I haven't listened to everything that's happened since, but I heard that pretty good things. Like, that they're staying. Like they've look what they've done. Look what they've accomplished.
They have a path. They have a clear path to success now. Like they've proven themselves. This is just the first one. Like who knows what they can accomplish?
Yeah.
Like they've got a taste for it now.
Yeah, 100% agreed. 100% agreed.
So, honestly, and like as we were saying, if they could get guys like Chris Jericho to show up for them and like break his like vow of whatever, like then. Clearly, they've got something here. And I mean that not from like an outsider's perspective, but from like an inside, like in the biz perspective as well.
Oh, 100%. We all know that in the 5 months in the first 5 months, the Hot Topic sales were, coming in. They sold over 470,000 individual pieces of merch and clothing. Right, and that was last year.
Oh, I just finished, by the way.
Okay, nice. You OCB for some first. Okay, cool. You just go do Crush and stuff like that, and
I'll do Crush.
Entertain the viewers here. Actually, you can look at the comments as well and just look more. Yeah.
What am I, a monkey dancing on a string?
You fucking do everything I fucking tell you, cunt. Thank you, appreciate it. But no, what was it? So basically, you've got this incredible merch machine. Now I know everyone was saying, like the merch and now we haven't even talked about StarCast yet, which is basically this indie basically WrestleCon times 20, where it's like the who's who of wrestling is there. Not even people that are even on the card. Like, I'm pretty sure fucking Simon Gotch is there. You know, stuff like that. You know, you got like all these different people on the card on this, you know, making money off of wrestling fans that clearly have the money, you know, and that's a whole thing. Now you've essentially potentially got an indie WrestleMania. That's how I would describe it. As much as I hate to use that stupid.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of it as, actually. Yeah, like, or an indie Wrestle Kingdom, if you'd prefer.
Yeah, an indie Wrestle Kingdom, exactly. Yeah, we've got these titles being defended. You know, I'd love to see you know, the PWG title defended on a show, or a tag title, or a tag. You know, I'd love to see a tag title match. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know.
What about the CZW Deathmatch Championship?
Yeah, the CZW Wired Championship. Or I would love to see. And actually, one thing. Do you know what the biggest missed opportunity on the show was? Their lack of European, true, like, international booking, and that came from the fact that they're ignorant and didn't realize how much of a shit fight it is to get international visas. That's why, like, your Ilya Dragunovs and all those sort of guys, Walter and stuff like that. You know, yeah, that's why those guys weren't on the show, because they didn't, you know, any Aussies or anything like that, because, you know, working visas are, you know, kind of a catastrophe. So that'll be on All In 2. Expect more international talent on All In 2. Yeah.
I was hoping actually to see like a never openweight 6-man tag team championship match too. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, me too. I think it could have.
Well, apparently the Gorillas of Destiny were actually in Chicago.
Were they actually?
But for like an unrelated, for something else though. They're not there for all.
That's weird. I feel like we could. Yeah, we could really wrestling scoop with those. We could honestly make the news with some of the stuff we know. It's kind of funny.
We should create our own wrestling newsletter.
You call it the bitch newsletter, or wrestling stories over beer. You know, where people get drunk and start telling us shit about you know.
Or just overheard at a wrestling show.
Or overheard at a wrestling show. Or wrestling grifters. How I earned $9,000 and didn't take a single bump.
Yeah. Or why do people confide in me when we always like reference their shit on?
Yeah, why do people confide in us when we make obscure references to it during Spyro speedrunning? That's great. No one will ever find us, right? Like, no one will ever.
Yeah.
It's not like you're watching this. Am I right, Cameron?
No one knows what we're talking about at all.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not talking about in general about All In. No one knows what we're talking about.
No, I'm surprised there's that many people actually watching this. But
I like it. I want to put this question out to the audience. Why don't you like professional wrestling? That's what I want to know. I want to know that. Like, why do you not want to give professional wrestling a chance?
Or,
like, as a general question.
I mean, you're probably not watching this at this point, but why do you hate it? Because there's some people that just don't have an interest in it, and it's like, yeah, you know, I don't expect everyone to be interested in the same shit, obviously. Yeah. But there are some people. Shout out to one Michael Benjamin Anderson, or even Ben Johnson, who they just hate it, but they don't have an actual reason at all. You know, they just hate it. They just hate it.
Why do people?
The reason is that they hate it. Why do you hate it? Because I hate it.
One of the things I've heard about, like, and it's a good enough thing, is that it's pretending to be real, and they don't like the pretense.
I know that but it's like they're disgusted by that, and that's what I find so funny about it. It's like you're disgusted that it's not actually real. You know, like
yes. Is that?
But like you're not.
You're meant to be shocked by that or something. Yeah. Like, if you tell us this, you're the first person to mention it to me.
But it's like, what? Are you disgusted? It's like you're meant to be disgusted. It's like, are you not disgusted that Breaking Bad isn't real? You know, that's the way I look at it. It's like, is the fact that it's pretending to be a sport or something like that really just offensive to people? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it is.
That's like people like, I've never been interested. Hey, you got up there. Well done.
Yeah. I definitely didn't use this cheat. I've cheated.
Oh, you climbing up there?
I've cheated.
That's the other thing too. People say they're like, oh, you know, I've never been interested in it. Well, I think, like, how do you get someone interested in it? Like, how did you become a fan?
Yeah, well, I became a fan because I watched it at my friend Matt Zool's house. It was the night after WrestleMania, the SmackDown after WrestleMania, Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio, and
oh wow,
and that was my first ever match I'd ever watched. And I loved it for some reason. I was like, what? Because I'd never seen it. Like, to the naked eye, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were to show All In, if you were to show that main event, right? If you were to show that main event to someone, that Spot Fest, you know, kind of thing, they'd be like, where the fuck do I buy the Bandito mask? I'm gonna, like, my brother would just have flipped out at that, you know? Like,
he would have.
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
Yeah. He is still alive, but yeah. Yeah, but yes. God rest his totally alive, barren soul. Yeah, Jack is going to watch this show later on, by the way, because he was really into it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, that's. I mean, I had to get into wrestling. I think it was just on TV once. I watched it. I kind of liked it, and then I think, and you're gonna hate this, but I think The Undertaker. Like, the first thing I ever watched was SmackDown 2007. I think it was like Edge and Zack Ryder and those guys.
Yeah. La Familia.
And they fucked The Undertaker up or something like. Good.
I hope it was real.
Yeah, that was like a cage match or something.
Whenever The Undertaker loses, wrestling is real because he's actually got beaten in a shoot fight. Whenever Undertaker wins, it's fake, basically. That's the logic.
I'm trying to do this ground to portal thing, but like your fans would have seen. Yeah. Like, I made it like 5 times, and now I'm not making it at all because I'm like being too hasty with it.
Yeah, it's fucked. People can do it.
Yes, but All In was all good. I would give the show a 8.5 out of 10. In my opinion.
I would probably give it a 8.5 to maybe possibly a 9. What would have given it a 10 would have been less 5 to 10 minutes on. It pretty much came down to timing. I would have given it 5 to 10 less minutes on Scurll.
Yep.
About 2 or 3 less minutes on theatrics in the NWA title match. Like, just kind of like quicken that whole sequence up a little bit. Maybe trim off a little bit. Obviously a longer main event, and then time to actually keep the wrap-up comments in the actual video. Now, the consolation is, of course, is that we're going to get this tremendous episode of Being the Elite. You know, like we know that we're going to get an amazing episode, I'm sure. That's going to have all of the aftermath. And really, this show is just as important in the aftermath as it is in the actual show. The next step to make All In truly immortal is for them to not sign with WWE.
I'm way more excited to see what happens next, actually.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they've got a lot of options. They are probably the most coveted, and when I say the most, like them, I basically mean like the Being the Elite cast. They're basically the most coveted people in wrestling right now. Everyone would want a piece of that pie, and the fact that New Japan actually are going to be broadcasting All In on New Japan World is proof that even they wanted a piece of this pie. Even them.
Tragically stuck in the past historical dinosaur of a company, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah,
they're gonna do it. That's a major breakthrough.
Yeah,
not only are they like all Gaijin stars, but like New Japan is going to promote their show on their streaming service. Yeah,
and they would have been paying them to do that. Like this like basically the wrestling industry is all in now. The industry outside of WWE. And so talking about the one of the last things that we got to say about this is is of course the interpromotional aspect of this show. So, you know, Don Callis, of course, a walking collaboration, because I mean he works with
a living collaboration.
Yeah. He's like one of the main guys in charge of TNA Impact.
Yes.
Commentator of he's a commentator of New Japan.
Yes.
And commentator of All In now, of course.
Yep.
And then you've got them working together now. You've got Ring of Honor. You've got what's it called? NWA, which is the new thing. So Cody winning this title, right? Cody is an exclusive Ring of Honor guy, right? Like in America. Yes. But what the fuck is the NWA? And so that's the whole burning question, because it's like now you've got this situation where who the fuck is who and who the hell is beholden to who? They're all going to have to work together. There's no way that they can't exclusivity anymore, really, if you know what I mean.
Cody Rhodes is a Ring of Honor guy who works for New Japan, who is now the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
But it's great because
it's
it basically says that the wrestlers are now in charge and the companies are the ones that have to change their ways. They've got to work together. And this is what former Bushiroad president Takaki Kidani said. Basically, he said this a few years ago. Pretty much everyone outside of WWE has to work together for them to do anything, to make any impact, right?
Yeah.
That's the truth.
I agree.
I agree. You cannot have Impact and Ring of Honor being sworn enemies. It just doesn't work. You can't. You can't do that. We need a Ring of Honor Impact Invasion angle. We need MLW to continue to let people use, you know, all the guys that they're allowed to use. We need Lucha Underground to still be able to work with AAA guys. We need perhaps most importantly, we need CMLL and AAA to continue being able to at least somewhat work together, which is now what's happened with Pentagon being and LA Park and stuff like that being able to work both, which, by the way, is like literally unprecedented, because my guess is that one of WWE's next stomping grounds is going to be Mexico, which is going to be fucked, and everyone needs to absolutely make sure that does not do well.
Well, watch them push El Idolo, good old
Tranquilo, whatever.
Yeah, watch them push him hard and then target the Mexican market.
Oh yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
But then again, like, you know, look at what happens in India. They can't get a strong foothold in India.
No, they can't. And Japan, they've just done they're one of the most altruistic things they've ever done, which is basically for free rent out Kenta for Marufuji's 20th anniversary show. One of the only times they've ever done something that's, I mean, look, they've basically almost killed the UK, right? Like Andy, I was listening to this interview with the RPW head booker, Andy Kuldan, and he was basically like, you got to skip into this podcast to really hear about it, but he was basically saying that, like, WWE just all of a sudden out of nowhere just said, you can't use the guys anymore. They were all on good terms. They were all on good terms. They were fine. And then all of a sudden, boom, like that. World of Sport comes out. All of a sudden, they get terrified. And it's like, that's the thing. If you are a WWE fan and you're watching this right now, stop. Stop watching. Stop watching, because what you are doing...
I mean... go on.
You are personally responsible for the collapse of the wrestling industry. If WWE gets any bigger than they are right now, anything that we just talked about will mean nothing in 10 years, because they want to be the only game in town, right? They want to be the only game in town, and you supporting them with your money is basically saying, I don't want to ever see anything other than them. That's basically what they're saying.
I get the feeling that is the case with most WWE fans, though, that they don't want to see anything other than WWE. That they don't care about actual wrestling, or, like, I don't know what they want to see. And we've had this discussion a while about the segment marks, and they only want to see segments and talky bits and funny stuff. Like, they want Bruce Forsyth's Generation game. They want a variety show. They want, like, you know, that's what they want. They don't care about watching, you know, wrestling matches.
Yeah, no, it's true. But,
like, why is that? Like, how come the highest rated segments in Raw have always been, like, talky segments?
Yeah, why? I don't know. Because
people like the talky bits?
Because I'll tell you, I think I know why, honestly, in part. It's because if you're a WWE fan and you grow up with WWE, what is there to really rave about wrestling ring work wise?
True.
I mean, that's the thing. Why was ECW... One Night Stand 2006 have such a lot. Honestly, I wonder if I didn't watch around ECW One Night Stand, maybe I never would have maintained as being as much of a wrestling fan, because I was so blown away with One Night Stand, because I was like, oh my god, this shit is incredible. Like, look at these hardcore spots. You know, they're doing all this crazy shit. You know, like, I'd never seen anything like it in my life. But then I never really saw that again. You know, so like in a way, it's like I was almost waiting for something that would never come. You know, so WWE is like the same thing.
like WWE, like people watch it for big moments. They watch it for the returns. They watch it for the debuts.
Returning to do what?
Heel turns.
Returning
Yeah, exactly. Debuting to do what? Like that always happens so many times. With like a Mike Kanellis debut, and then do nothing at all. Or like, I think Daniel Bryan's back, but what's he done? Like really, what's he done? Has he won anything? Has he like accomplished anything? Is he still over as he was? Maybe, but it's kind of pointless, right?
Yeah. Someone said.
So it's like.
Someone said, "Fuck WWE, they ruined Neville," and the list goes on and on. Exactly, and that's actually one of the other things I wanted to talk about as well. Neville, unfortunately, not making an appearance tonight. When you think about it, probably not likely anyway. But someone like Neville. Neville, to me, is the most coveted guy in wrestling right now that doesn't have a contract at all. Right? I would say that honestly, it's him. It's him. Then probably not too far off. Bandito and Flamita, actually, the tag team, who have been.
Especially Bandito after tonight.
Yeah, after tonight with the eyes. Now, what's your over and under on how successful you think this is going to be outside of the obvious 10,000 attendance? Do you think this is going to do a good pay-per-view number? Because I think it will, because of the fact that someone like me purchased it. Because I don't usually purchase pay-per-views. In fact, the only other one I've ever purchased is, regrettably, the Royal Rumble 2014 with you, and the other one was One Night Stand 06. But, when I say to people, I actually don't say I bought that one, because technically my parents bought it, so, I don't really count me as buying that.
Yeah.
But,
well, honestly, I have a feeling that this will make a big impact, like, in that market. Like, I think it'll do good numbers.
Let's say it does 50k. Let's say it does 50k.
Oh, I don't think that many.
If it does, which is basically a peak TNA number around then, if it does that many, you can guarantee you that if you're saying these fucking idiots are saying that, like, oh yeah, WWE like means, like they're not scared, that is a number that scares them. Because the thing is, when TNA got 50, 60k, it actually was good. People didn't give enough credit because they're idiots as usual. But 50k pay-per-view buys now at the price point that it was is far more significant than 50k buys now in the age of streaming.
Definitely, 100%. Like, I would imagine most people probably watch this on a club, I would say. Yeah.
But there's a lot of people.
It'd be hard to get the exact analytics.
A lot of people. But Fight is actually quite a popular service. So Fight was a good alternative, even though it wasn't cheap. But you've got Honor Club, you've got Fight, you've got traditional pay-per-view as well. I am very excited for the Wrestling Observer news. See, I'm such a geek. Like, I'm more excited about almost the business than I am about like the wrestling. I just love.
I agree. Like, the Bueno matches that like changed the industry. Like, from a match perspective, it didn't change anything. Like, they were good matches, but I think as what this represents, I think that is more important than anything. Yeah. Like, on the show. Yeah. What the show stands for and what it accomplishes, and what it indeed will like set in motion.
So you've got this gap now. We've got this time we've got a New Japan show in America on September 30th. We've got Dominion and stuff like that. We've got Ring of Honor stuff. We've got the Madison Square Garden show. We've got Adrian Neville
Dominion.
Pack as like not the Destruction shows, Destruction Tour.
Yeah, Destruction.
We've got what's next for Neville? We've got Bound for Glory, which could be another Jericho appearance. But right now, I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens next. And I'm looking forward to seeing the absolute butthurt that will follow on the internet. And the new narrative, you'll notice the narrative this time with this event is that all wrestling fans apparently smell. That's the new one.
Oh, right? Yes, I got that.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Did you not see that as just an absolute targeted attack on indie fans? Like, did you see that on Reddit?
I knew this already. I knew wrestling fans smells already. I've been around enough stinky,
but it was such a fucking. It was such a like thing, like as if like WWE fans don't smell. That's what made me laugh.
No, I've experienced that at WWE shows too. So shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, these people are
idiots. People stink there too.
Yeah.
I think my takeaway is now you've got like, you've got a way you can go in and watch Ring of Honor, or like you can watch Impact now, or you can watch. I mean, fucking Lucha Underground was put over huge on this show. Like, the amount of like rep that promotion will get now.
Yeah,
is pretty cool, I would say.
Yeah, everyone got a great rub, I guess is the word. And that's what's all about. And you got to think, it's 3 guys that did that. You know, like people saying, oh, they're so
Yeah,
self-congratulatory and stuff like that. It's like, what the fuck do you expect? They did this from nothing. You know what I mean? They did this from nothing. They ended up getting Cracker Barrel on TGI Fridays as sponsors. 3 dudes did that solely by themselves, and thanks to the fans that, you know, supported them. It's like, of course, people are going to be self-congratulatory about this. It's like, I mean,
I can't speak highly enough of TGI Fridays.
Yeah, your favorite Japanese restaurant. Yeah, honestly, TGI Fridays in Japan is pretty good. The burger, you know, yeah. Honestly, those chicken taco things that Ando raved about, they weren't that great. But the burger, the Jack Daniels burger. I can't wait
to go back to TGI Fridays. Yeah. How good is it? It's so good.
Yeah. I've really got to go to the what's it called? The pepper lunch that is in Adelaide now. Because if you said it was good, I actually saw there's actually chips on the menu. There's actually chips on the menu at mine.
They do. They've got a bigger menu, but it's pretty pricey actually. When it's in dollars, it sort of adds up.
Yeah. Fuck, I got it. Okay, cool. I'm trying to do that skip. But yeah, so you know, Neville's a big question. That's like the big guy that, you know, we're gonna see stuff. We're gonna see stuff from. I'm gonna be paying attention to a lot of the guys, you know, on the Battle Royal, of course. I'm gonna be paying attention to the fact that can they do this with 20,000 people. And again, if you even asked me at the start of All In, I'd say no. But now that I look at that venue and I look at the prices and I look at how well they've priced it and the demand on StubHub, can they do 20K?
I reckon they could do. I reckon they could eventually.
Will they sell it out in 29 minutes? No. But you know what? Me saying that, they're gonna fucking do it. You know, that's the crazy thing. It's like, you say no way.
Well, what would they need to do that though? Do they need to grow the industry, or are there 20,000 sufficiently in the industry?
There are
fans.
I think there are. I think there genuinely are. When it sells out in 29 minutes, it means there are. Because 29 minutes means you've got to be awake at a certain time, preferably live in a certain city, and then you've got to get the tickets and then not crash. If you got 20,000, it's not going to sell out it's not. Think about the 15K for Ring of Honor New Japan, right? That's the proof that they can do it.
Dude, I'm actually really excited to go to that. Like, give Wrestle Kingdom a skip and go to that. I think that was the right call, actually.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm still going to Wrestle Kingdom or not. It really depends on the prices of Japan. Actually, Amelia, let me see I don't know if you're bored to shit. I apologize. If you're not watching anymore, that's all good. But you're a legendary mod. But yeah, I mean, I know Japan's bullshit, isn't it? I'm trying not to dox her here, but yeah, she knows a bit about prices with Japan, and it's fucking bullshit. So, but yeah, like, I mean, the prices actually will probably be cheaper to get to America. Well, prices to Japan in January, like December, is bullshit. You know, like it's double.
It is, they're really expensive.
It's bullshit, honestly. Like it's such a buzzkill. But yeah, we'll see what goes.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm going to Wrestle Kingdom this year. I wouldn't say I am. Not that I don't want to see Tanahashi versus Kenny, but like it's like it'll be a dumb decision to go. Plus, I can't.
Well, monetarily.
I just literally could not get the time. I could not get the time off of work unless I moved to Adelaide before that, but it wouldn't make sense because my lease ends after that. So
when does your lease end?
Yeah, it'd just be quite a.
I thought your lease ended in
January 22.
I thought you were moving in 2017.
After
graduation.
I mean, yeah. Well, that would give me exactly no weeks to move because graduation's December. So
yeah. What days is graduation?
Probably like December 13th is I think the day.
Oh fuck! It's
that's it.
Unless it leaves it, unless it listens to chat. Sup, Deathmatch Phil. Deathmatch Phil loved it. Deathmatch Phil would have loved this show, I'm sure. Deathmatch Phil would have loved Joey Janela versus. I
don't know. I don't think it would have been hardcore enough for his taste.
Oh, Deathmatch Phil. Nah. That Canadian just he would have.
Deathmatch Phil he's got a very acquired taste now for Deathmatch.
Yeah, which probably shouldn't have taken him to a Deathmatch show for his first show, but that's all right.
His first
that's why it's called Deathmatch Phil. Yeah. So when do you when's your graduation ceremony?
December something, 13th, I guess.
13th. Okay, all right. So yeah.
So
well, we gotta figure that shit out. You gotta figure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know yet. I don't know.
The road trip.
The road trip. Yeah. Well, did I tell you? This is all like lifting the curtain. I don't care. But anyway, like my plan now is I think I'll just sell all my shit and then buy new shit down there.
Oh, okay. That's what you're gonna do now.
So I mean, like, bringing a trailer would have been a massive backache. Like, it's like, oh, do we really want to do that?
So instead, we're just gonna bring the car.
Yeah, just bring the car. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. You know what that means? We can speed. That's good. Because that was the one thing I was a little bit concerned about. I was like,
well, that means I can drive most of the way down because it's my car.
Yeah. Well,
I can drive the entire way down.
Fuck you! No. We gotta split it for our own health. You know. Like
well, if we're doing that, then you've got to split on the insurance because I have to insure you to drive it. So.
Oh yeah, that's fine. But you were gonna pay me to come up with you anyway. I'm sure you pay me a lot less now if it's not a trailer.
No, I'm not paying you at all now. Actually.
Oh, okay, well then you can come down yourself.
No,
Maybe I'll come.
Do that.
Maybe I'll come. We'll see if the price is right. Maybe if you pay for the hotel room.
I'll buy you lunch
The motel. No, I don't think that me missing a week of work is worth one lunch.
I said a couple lunches.
Live debate on what the fee is going to be to move the car.
Is Fraser still here? Are you coming, Fraser? Like, I heard he was flying up. Like, I heard that was like a.
Well, he's not with his girlfriend anymore, so he probably has permission.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is he still here? Is Fraser in the chat still? I miss Fraser.
No, he's not here. Amelia says, mate, flights anywhere in December are booked. Fraser's here. Fraser's here.
He is here.
Yeah. So you know what? You're right.
I've got the chat.
There's potential. Yeah, exactly. There's potential now for him to come because.
So Fraser, you coming up to Brisbane to do the Great Brisbane to Adelaide road trip in summer? Is that a thing you want to do? You're invited.
You're invited.
Ando could come. He could come if he wants.
Yeah, Georgia.
But I would imagine
Ando, Georgia, Ben, Nicole, just the whole crew. You know, that'd be a great.
I would imagine the car would be very, very packed with shit. Actually, because like I'll have to like fill the boot up with stuff.
What did you say about Ando, motherfucker? What do you call him? You're calling him shit, are you?
Ando.
You piece of shit.
Ando, I love Ando. My cousin is hooked on Ando now.
God.
Did I tell you this?
That's crazy.
Daniel Moundfield, the good cousin.
The good cousin. Oh yeah, the good cousin. Bloody owned me on Aaron Dacey's profile picture years ago. Dick.
Did he? What did he say?
Yeah, I said something about like 11 ad. I said, oh, why would I say that? So you know, he was probably right for owning me. Idiot. Fucking dumbass I was. But yeah.
Oh, look what Mitchell Martin said. Conley, you should respond to him.
What did Mitchell Martin say? What did he say? You get a test 100? Wait.
No, he said, look. So what do you guys recommend for someone who knows nothing about wrestling but is interested in getting into it? You have... This is like the greatest question anyone could ever ask you.
I mean, what do you say though? It's such a hard question too, isn't it? It's like, what's the first show that you watch? Wrestle Kingdom 11, but that's too long. 11. That's too long. You know, like for someone to like, just sit down in one go. The sad thing is that like
Kenny versus
like
Okada?
An early NXT takeover is like actually good.
Oh,
like that's
yeah.
which is the most depressing thing to admit that a WWE show is actually worth.
What was that one with Neville
the one where Sami Zayn wins the title? Yeah.
What was that one called?
That was Our Evolution or something, was it? But anyway, fuck NXT. Don't worry about that.
No. Revolution.
What it was yeah, I would say like you just got. I mean, All In is a good.
No, don't listen to Tomcat Gaming. Shut the fuck up, Tomcat.
What do you say? What do you say?
WWE shows.
He's better be trolling. Tomcat Gaming, I will beat you up. I'll fight you.
Like he will beat you up.
I will.
Like he will actually fight you.
I will. I go to the gym. I go to the gym now. Just ask Ando. I went 2 times in 1 day yesterday. So
it does take him 5 weeks to recover, but
no. Well, actually, I do feel like I want to die because I was doing shrugs yesterday. But I am recovering. I will become a beast, and I will kill you all. So be careful.
A hype beast?
Not the money to do that, but you know, we'll see.
What the hell's Cracing? I love Wrestling World Entertainment. Shut the fuck up. You don't love it.
Craig, you love New Japan. You
love New Japan.
Yeah, first show. Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom 11. Wrestle Kingdom is a great show to watch. All In is a good show to watch. There's a few things you wouldn't get, but if you're thinking like just pure American style work rate, I would say that All In is an excellent show.
Well, no. I think if you're not accustomed to any wrestling, why would you tell someone to get like used to what the American style is like, just so they can be horribly confused by?
Oh yeah, but the American, I'm not an American style hater though. That's the thing. Like a lot of people give it shit, but I mean, I like American style.
What about watch a Kobashi match?
Yeah.
Or Kensuke Sasaki.
Yeah, watch Kensuke Sasaki versus Kobashi. Okay, when Savage was like basically in the call crying, he's like, "This is the greatest match of all time, bro." He was just like basically crying when they're doing that 5-minute slapping battle, like they're just like slapping back and forth and back and forth.
Ooh, what about like a really early like AJ All Japan match or something?
Yeah. Wait, Lord Damotron says I'd probably watch that fight between Fissure and Tomcat. Just saying. Yeah. I mean, I would too. I'd pay. Now, would we pay for it? Would we get 800,000 buys on YouTube, like the KSI Logan Paul fight? That remains to be seen. I mean, that's like a non-wrestling thing, but like at the same time, that's a very interesting. We don't talk about
non-wrestling things here,
but we do, because I think it's very important to note the success of the Logan Paul fight. Think about it; they are complete amateurs right now, and they have got more buys than All In and even any WWE pay-per-view could now get, right? And they're just two amateurs pretending to fucking box, basically, right? But because they promote it on YouTube, that's what being the elite can eventually be. That's the potential, them to actually be YouTube superstars. They talk about this, they actually talk about this in interviews and stuff like that, but some people come up to them, like to the Young Bucks and stuff, and come up to them and basically talk to them about being the elite, not even their wrestling.
Whoa.
You know, they're like, oh yeah, like I'm a big fan of being the elite. And like they know them as wrestlers, but like they're actually almost bigger fans of being the elite than they are of like wrestling. And you know what, actually, a good way to start with wrestling, honestly, being the elite is actually a great way to start, because it's not actually wrestling, but it makes you care about wrestling matches. That's what's really important about it.
Yes. I think that's the hard thing with wrestling, is why would you care about the matches? Like, how would you... But the problem is, right, that leads to something like Kenny versus Cody, which is not really that great. Like, I wouldn't recommend go out of their way to see any of those matches.
Yeah, but people that... Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. That's like,
but someone said...
I personally would say Ric Flair versus, like, Shawn Michaels from, like, WrestleMania 24.
Morally, I can't recommend anything WWE, but...
That's a good one to watch if you like want like the basic like
stories,
briefest story you could possibly have, but like the most emotion.
Morgan BK says early progress would be good. Can I just say I'm very proud that there's someone that actually knows like what we're talking about here. This is amazing. Early progress would be good, like Jimmy Havoc's championship reign. Yes, constantly referred to as one of the best championship reigns in indie wrestling history. And that was obviously, I believe, unseated. He was unseated by... why spoil? Why spoil? But as a legendary rivalry, or in other words, a rivalry that one of New Japan's top stars was embroiled in, and in fact, as of last week, was involved in, and I believe maybe the reason why he's actually suspiciously been injured in the last few days. But yes, I won't say who that is. But he definitely doesn't charge $9,000 for an Australian booking. Well, there you go.
No, he actually puts his working boots on when he's here.
Oh yeah, he works in fucking Gippsland.
Gippsland. Yeah. If I was to recommend, like the stuff I would recommend would be like matches. Like I wouldn't recommend watching like an entire show to start with.
Agreed.
Like I wouldn't even recommend watching Okada or Omegas to start off with, because why would you start with like the peak? Like,
That's true. Yeah, you can start with like
other really good stuff.
Yeah. Like let me try and think. and you want to start with something that's not too long either. You don't want to start with anything that's 35 minutes. You honestly something like a let me try and think. What's the name? Yoko Bito's retirement match, of course, legendary, the GOAT,
that's good one.
The GOAT. No, you know what? Great Kabuki's. I think you should start watching retirement matches. That would be really great, and just whole retirement ceremonies. Because I think
Japanese,
we've seen more people retire than we've seen debut. That's an objective fact.
I guess that's true, isn't it?
Yeah, not even those BJW guys with their first shows.
Maybe I wouldn't recommend. Like this is a good question. I could do like a whole thing on this. We should do a video on this sometime.
Yeah,
about getting into wrestling, like what you would recommend.
Yeah, no, because it's a hard.
Where we recommend each other matches that the other person's never seen before, and then we watch them and we talk about them.
Because
I guess that could really that would be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I do like what I see from this Jordan Grace chick because she like does intergender wrestling, and so that's like a cool thing. Like it's like everyone's gonna like different things. That's the thing because like my brother now, he went to one show live, 2 shows live, and now he's like absolutely obsessive New Japan fan. He can't stop playing it in the car, like music and themes. He's obsessed. But the match that he responded to the most at the first night was a technical wrestling match with lots of submissions. So everyone's going to like something different. Or you're just not going to like it at all. Of course, that's a possibility. Like, you may just not like it at all. But you may not like what everyone else likes, right? I think there's a few objective matches, but everyone's got a different style. Like, you may absolutely love flips and stuff like that. You may absolutely love, other stuff. So it's hard to pick one that's the best, but that's why something like Okada and Mega, early on, of course, is like, is going to be. There you go. You got the glitch. Yeah.
Wow. There you go.
Devastating.
Look at that. My character's all flat.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Yeah. You know what? Like, I've never had that before. Like, I would think, like Austin Rock is good, I guess, too, but like, not for the right reasons. I mean, like, they literally kills like that. They've never recovered from that. Like, they never recovered from that. I don't think in relevancy.
The wiki is looking good. Yeah. Do you want to just keep sharing your screen because it's like I've got mine up as technically something.
Yeah. Why don't I play Japanese Spyro? Look at this.
We'll go for like another 10 more minutes. Yeah, go screen share again, and I'll like fix it all up. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about wrestling is that it is so hard to like. It's so hard.
I don't feel that bad about recommending WWE stuff like early.
I guess early on because you probably end up getting out of it anyway. Because if you really the only problem with WWE is if you watch it weekly. Like if I was to watch NXT takeovers exclusively, I'm sure I'd enjoy it because half of the card I fucking know them and followed their careers. When they weren't there. But you didn't share again. It went back. But I morally, I just can't stand that. But okay, cool.
But it's a good gateway into getting into it though.
It is a good gateway, but it's also shit after a while, and like it's by far the worst major promotion. Like honestly, out of anything, I would actually probably start with, if anything, like in terms of a blend of American style but with good work rate and like interesting kind of storylines, I would actually recommend Impact because Impact is like constantly referred to as like really just a well put together piece of television that kind of blends like they aired a match live from Adelaide, right? The this 4-way match
live?
That I saw, well, not live, but they promote it as like World Series Wrestling. When I went to the show and they actually aired it on their national TV show. So like you've got all blends of different styles and different promotions kind of in one. And then you've got like that kind of American style of storytelling, but with like a good work rate and like they put on fucking great matches. Like this week we had Phoenix versus Cage, which was sick. And just all that kind of stuff. So like, Impact's a good place to start. But yeah.
Why don't you watch Joe versus Kobashi?
Yeah,
your favorite match of all time.
That is one of my probably as my top 5 favorite facial reaction of all time, which is like Kobashi's like double take, like, oh, they're cheering me. That is just
that's why they pop for it.
Too good. That is like Tatsumi Fujinami's Hall of Fame speech. Tears.
Oh yeah. I would recommend that you would watch that first, actually.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think we'll think about that. I can do like a guide at some point or something, but it's great.
According to 2 cynical Australian.
I'm extremely glad that we've got this many people watching because the last time we talked about this on my channel, we talked about like Wrestle Kingdom predictions. We only got about 2 or 3 viewers, and one of them was Fraser, one of them was Al saying we were gay, and then
Fraser doesn't count as a viewer, by the way.
Yeah, and Fraser just doesn't count because he's such a legend and OG.
He'll watch anything we put out. Like he loves that content.
Now that you say that, he's gonna quit.
Apparently, I heard on the grapevine Fraser did not watch verbatim. I heard that.
Hey, you will though, right?
Yes.
He will.
Huh? He'll watch verbatim. You better watch verbatim, Fraser. You were in it. I made you. You were my star, and you ruined me.
You ruined me. His career's over. You're not casting him in Dick Forward. I mean Forward. Sorry.
Forward, thank you. Forward is the correct title. Forward.
Yep, no one knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, apparently there is well, let's see, it's probably like 20 or something now. But there was like 1.40 people. Yeah, 25 people watching. Yes. Thank you to all 25 that watched this. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, well done everyone for making it as far as you made it.
Because yeah,
everybody watched verbatim. The soundtrack. Oh, you want to plug the soundtrack to verbatim?
Oh yeah, good idea. Yes. So we've got the soundtrack out now, which is a good sort of complement to the movie, because there's some tracks on there that did not make the final cut of the movie. Tough decisions, but unfortunately, one or two tracks aren't able to make the final cut. You know, lots of controversy in there, lots of controversy in the editing room. But yeah, some great tracks in there, and I highly recommend you check it out. Some of my favorite work I've done, and I'm excited to get to work on the next project.
Your best music so far, in my opinion. My favorite music you've ever made is... some of the stuff in that soundtrack is so good, especially for montages, because verbatim's a montage movie. There's a lot of montages. Yeah, it's probably my best. I don't know how to write.
I'd say it's overall better than the Dick Cubed soundtrack. However, there's some tracks I wish we could have used from the Dick Cube, but obviously, because it's like we don't want this copy. There's a couple tracks in Dick Cube that I would have used for verbatim if I could have. But honestly, yeah, no, those two pieces together, great, really great. It's all free, so go download it, or you can give me 10 cents for it if you want. But I don't care. It's either good.
Well, and and finally, I'm very pleased to announce that we will be beginning work very shortly on the first ever successful Daisy Conley project. Which is Forward, obviously.
Yes, Forward. That's all. Let's just keep it at just Forward. It's just Forward. There's no teaser.
You and I, well, think about it. Yeah, I mean, there's no point because it's like.
Actually, sorry. It's gonna be called Forward, an all-in project. Because we're going all in. We're going all in with this. So you know, we've really taken the ethos of the Young Bucks and Cody. And all right, guys. Thanks, Mitchell. Yes. Thanks, Fremont and Amelia and everyone, Tomcat and Cray, everyone there, Morgan, Freakzilla, Griffin, everyone here. Logan Paul versus KSI versus CrystalFissure versus Tomcat. Let's book it. We'll do it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. All into Electric Boogaloo. All
right, goodbye, everyone.
Thanks for watching and goodbye.
Goodbye and good night. Bang.